Alright. What's up, guys? This is the Organic Guy, and welcome to your weekly dose of Organic View. This is where, of course, I get to bring you up to date on what's happening in the organic industry. And this particular week, really, there's no better topic to talk about rather than the upcoming BIOFACH event. And it's an event that really has been happening year after year on February. And this year, of course, it is no different, and it will be taking place from the 17th to the 19th of February 2021. Yeah, maybe there will be a little bit of a difference, and this year it will be a completely digital event. And let's be honest, this is just in tandem really with what's happening across the world, as well as most of the events, as you probably know, have all gone digital as well. And BIOFACH, I mean, if you are in the organic industry, there is really no better events that you should be looking forward to in terms of attendance, as this is one of the top events in the organic industry that most people really look forward to attending and trying to see what are some of the new innovations that people across the organic sector are coming up with. What are some of the new products that have come into the market? What are some of the new scientific innovations have really happened over the last year, as well as the famous world statistics of how the organic industry is doing. So it's one of those events that most people look up to, and trying to attend and trying to stay up to date on what's happening in the organic world. Of course, I say that because I do know there are other events in the organic industry as well that most people might consider them very, very important as well. I mean, we do have the Natural Expo East in the United States, the Natural Expo West, for example, in the United States as well. Those are two big events in the organic and natural world in the United States. We do have the Natural and Organic Product Expo in the United Kingdom as well. So those are also some of the very big events that most people in the organic industry also look forward to attending as well. But in my opinion, BIOFACH is one of those events that should be at the top of your calendar in terms of trying to know what's happening in the organic sector as well. And it's an event that has a really rich history over time. When you look at it, opening its first doors back in 1990 with just one below 200 exhibitors as well, and about 2,500 visitors who attended that first festival. So event with humble beginning, but over 30 years later, you can see some of the developments that have happened along the way, and it has really brought itself on the map as being the world's leading trade fair for organic products as well. And as you probably notice, it's sort of a duo congress as well. So it's BIOFACH and Vivaness, and as you can see, BIOFACH is sort of concentrated in the organic world, and Vivaness sort of concentrated in certified natural cosmetics world. And before 2007, these events used to sort of to be the same thing, but up until 2007, that's when these two particular events were sort of separated, and BIOFACH now sort of concentrated into the organic world, and Vivaness sort of concentrated into the natural world as well. So these are two events that sort of run concurrently, but they are very, very close to each other, and most people, you will hear them refer as BIOFACH and Vivaness moving forward. So don't really be surprised as well. So if this event wasn't going to be a digital event, of course it will be happening in Nuremberg in Germany. And when you look at some of the statistics from last year, really, they are mind-boggling as well. Last year, they were celebrating the 31st annual edition, and Vivaness was celebrating its 13th edition as well. And since opening its doors, really, as a standalone event back in 2007. And last year, they were very happy to welcome over 3,800 exhibitors as well, and up to 47,000 visitors came to the event from over 110 countries. Man, that is massive. I've been involved in organizing a few events in the organic industry, and I tell you, it's not easy to pull in those kind of numbers as well. So, and these numbers sort of reflect really some of the growth that the organic movement has seen over the years. If you look, when they first began, they only had 197 exhibitors and 2,500 visitors, and right now they're talking about 3,800 exhibitors and about 50,000 visitors as well, in over 110 countries. So as you can see, it sort of reflects how the organic movement as well has been able to grow over time since the 1990s and where we are now in 2020s as well. And loved also last year's sort of theme in what they were concentrating in, the message that they were sort of trying to lay out. The theme being organic deliver, so trying to show what are some of the developments, what are some of the things that the organic movement has been able to bring into the table throughout these years. I mean, highlighting some of the things that the organic movement has fought for example, the soil. And as we know, the organic movement really began as a rebellion from the conventional system in the 1920s, sort of didn't put a lot of emphasis on the soil, and some of their forefathers and the founders of the organic movement put a lot of emphasis on the soil and trying to insist that the soil is a living entity. And some of our brothers from the conventional industry, they were like, no, really, that's not the cause. All we need to do is just provide the crops with the macronutrients that they need, and then the rest is history, man. But right now we are seeing, of course, a lot of movements trying to put a lot of emphasis on the soil. And but if you look at the organic movement has been saying this for years in terms of putting the emphasis on the soil and why it's important to take care of the soil. And most people don't realize this, but organic movement has been on the lead all along the way in terms of organic farms having more earthworms, organic farming having more biomass, up to 94% higher than their conventional counterparts. So these are some of the things that the organic movement has been able to deliver, and these are some of the things that were highlighted in last year's event as well. So very, very exciting, some of the things that happened there in last year's event. And one of the guest of honors was Dr. Jan Godwall, who is a very renowned environmentalist, and she gave a very, very powerful speech as well, which I will, of course, recommend that you check it out on YouTube as well. And you don't get a lot of people who can be able to motivate you and give you that sense of why it's important to take care of nature and work with nature rather than working against it, rather than Jen Godwall. So make sure you check it out, and I'm sure you'll be very, very super inspired as well. So let's look at this year's event. And it might be a digital event, but it's an event nevertheless. Most of the events have been cancelled throughout this year, but looks like these guys were very, very much determined to make sure that this event does happen indeed. And I happened to take part of the sister event, and it was BIOFACH India, and I did enjoy it. I'll sort of show you what they had in store towards the end, and you can be able to appreciate what are some of the major investment that has gone into making sure that this particular event takes place. So, man, looking forward to it. And this year's sort of theme is based on shaping transformation together. So this is based on the core of how can us as the organic industry try to incorporate and try to see what are some of the synergies that other people from the sustainable movement have in common, and try to see if we can work together. For example, the Sustainable Development Goals set up by the United Nations is goals really most of the people across the world really have an eye on and sort of feel connected to. And the organic movement has a lot of things to offer into the Sustainable Development Goals. And what if we can shape these transformations and try to see people who are within the sustainable movement and sort of see how we can work together. And this particular pandemic, of course, has exposed us onto why it's important really to work together rather than working in silos and trying to make sure that we put the best path forward. So I like that particular theme and that particular angle that they took in this particular conference as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to some of the guests and some of the people who will be talking in there to see what are some of their perspective on what are the best thing to do, what are the weakness, what are the opportunities that have been able to express themselves in these particular times of this pandemic, and what are some of the areas that the organic movement can sort of step forward and took the lead as it has always done across the years as well. So really, really, really looking forward. As you can see here, they're sort of trying to see how we can be able to collectively strengthen our sort of communication with each other as well. And based on the effort of collective strength grows out of common goals. So really, really great theme. I like it, and looking forward to it as well. And some of the forums that you might be interested into as well, sustainability forum as well. So we all know sustainability has very different faces, and it might mean something different to someone else. But what are some of the things that we can be able to see and work together to read? And COVID-19, of course, has shown us some of the risks that has been associated really working into silos, and what are some of the economic devastation that this particular mentality can have as well. So, and in case you didn't know, organic industry has really also been performing very well during this crisis. We can see organic market doing very well, sort of being resistant to some of these shocks as well. So what are some of the things that other industries can be able to learn from the organic industry, and why it has performed very well relatively comparing to other sectors as well moving forward? So, and what can the organic sector also be able to learn from other sectors who are performing other areas as well? So sustainability forum is a forum you should also check out if you are interested in that particular area as well. Politics forum. It's a topic that I know most of people don't really like to talk about, me being of course one of them, but of late I've been really looking into and trying to see how this particular politics affects the organic industry as well, and how it affects myself, and trying to see create some clarity around it. And this is a forum that you should be able to expect some of the critical, controversial, and constructive discussions as well. So if you are into politics and trying to understand politics and trying to see how politics affect the organic and the sustainability world, make sure you pop into this conversation and see how you can be able to contribute to it as well. Another forum, which is the science forum, which is something that we've shown the importance of science as well. And we are living in that particular moment right now where science has been at the core of making decisions in terms of COVID-19. A lot of the public have been trying to see what is science saying regarding the virus, for example. What is the best thing to do from a science perspective? So we can see one of the very important roles that science does play in terms of decision making. And from an organic point of view, we do have a lot of studies as well that are showing the benefits of organic, for example. They're showing the benefits of ecological farming, that are showing some of the devastations that the climate is being caused into, some of the devastations that our species has been facing over a couple of years. So we have this science, what is causing less action in towards this particular thing. So this is a forum, if you are interested in that kind of area, that should be able to fit you very well, and try to see how you can sort of contribute to it and find synergies, find people who are interested in this particular space, and see how you can be able to work together. So you can see very, very exciting lineup of things that you should be able to look forward into this particular congress as well. So how about we go through the program and try to see what are some of the areas that might interest you as well. This year we do have the opening of BIOFACH being done by Julia Klona, who is the Minister for Food and Agriculture and Consumer Protection Agency in Germany. We do have Markus Koning, hope I'm not murdering these particular names, who is the mayor of Nuremberg, who will be opening also the BIOFACH as well. Miss Peggy Mears, who is the president of IFOM, will also be opening this particular session. So very, very important session to sort of attend, which helps you give you an overview of what the conference will be sort of concentrating about, and gives you a theme, helps you lay out the theme of this particular congress, and what are some of the areas that you will be interested as well in seeing how you can be able to be part of. So some of the things that I found myself very, very interested in as well, and for example, we have discussions that will be happening on the very ambitious EU's proposal of making sure that by 2030 they do have 25% of the European land being organic. Very ambitious. It's also a topic that I will be interested in see how that will be implemented as well. We have Eduardo Coco, who is the director of IFOM Organics Europe, will be sort of laying out what are some of the strategies that they have in place in terms of making sure that this is being done. For example, we also have, this is an interesting topic that I think might interest me as well and some of the other people, new plant breeding techniques and organic farming. So what are some of the techniques that are out there that the organic industry can be able to use and can be able to adapt in order to make the system more efficient and be able to produce very quality products and make work easier for the farmers as well. So that is, a meeting that might be able to interest you as well, and try to see what are some of those things that the organic industry has come up with, or what are some of the potential things that the scientific community is working on as well. So very, very important area that does interest me as well. Food Policy Forum for Change, how we can be able to transform our food system through policy measures. Not a big policy fan guy, but policy does have its place in terms of trying to transform food systems. What are some of the ways we can be able to do that? Very, very interesting topic that will be happening there as well. Might pop in and try to see what are some of the suggestions that are being made there as well. Different perspective on organic integrity and fraud preventions. Believe it or not, of course, in any sector that's being run by humans, there is bound to be people who will be misbehaving. And organic does have that challenge as well for integrity and how we can be able to prevent fraud as well. Very, very important topic also. Might also be able to pop in and try to see what's going on in there. Germany organic market. Germany being the second largest country in terms of organic market behind the United States, and having the largest organic market in the European Union. How are the facts? What are the figures? What are the analysis? What are the trends? Very, very interesting to be able to see that. I'll be definitely be popping and trying to see what are the trends and how did it perform, considering that we are in this particular COVID era. Very interesting point also. Promoting sustainability and efficiency in organic agriculture, perspective from young organic innovators. So what have they come up from? What are the strategies that we can be able to involve young people in the organic industry? Very important conversation also that will be going hand in hand with the world of organic agriculture. I think that I will personally be very interested in as well. And if the first day you're going to miss everything, this is one thing that you shouldn't be able to miss. BIOFACH innovations and trends. This is something that will give you an opportunity to try and see what are some of the things that are into the market, with some of the scientific innovations that have been brought into the market, with some of the new products that have been brought into the market. So that is a must attend, at least for me, in this particular conference as well. So you can see very, very interesting topics, very, very interesting people who will be representing it well. So this particular conference is a must attend, considering that it's an online event as well, man. If you, in case you just miss it, you can watch it later, because it will be available for up to 6 months after it happens. So it's something that you can be able to go back into and rewatch and try to understand better. If you didn't understand something, you can be able to go back and rewatch it and understand those particular topics as well. How about the second day? EU's farm to fork policy. How is it being done? What is this exactly the strategy? Do they have the right ingredients to make that happen? February 18, first thing in the morning, should be able to look up to that if you're sort of interested into it. And of course, we have great conversation going on there in Germany as well, the German language, which I will probably not be attending, but I guess very, very useful for local Germany-speaking people as well. And strategies to communicate the benefit of organic breeding, one of the areas that I think most people don't put a lot of emphasis into, but very, very important in terms of production, in terms of giving farmers better products to be able to grow, better seeds, better breeding materials for them to grow for better production. Very, very underrated topic in my opinion, but a lot of people are giving a lot of insights into it. So very, very strategic point to be able to look to as well. As you can see, great conversations. A global organic market overview as well will be talked about. How is for example, the African market doing? How's the European market doing? How's the world market doing? How's the Asian market doing? Very, very interesting. I will be definitely be attending that one. And yeah, so you can see, it's a very, very jam-packed program as well. So for me, it's a must attend and try to see and understand some of these things that are going to be talked about. As I mentioned, this is one of those events that should be on top, really, of your attendance list. When you talk about this year, and also very, very, very important in terms of Vivaness innovations and trends of 2021, very, very important also to look at it. How about boosting organic trade in Africa? So we all see the organic continent as a whole sort of lagging behind in the organic industry, has a lot of potential as well. What are some of the things that the experts are seeing? For example, Dr. David M. Davy will be talking about it. We have Bad John Ortens, who is executive director of Profound, will be talking about it. So be looking forward into it and trying to understand how does the prospect of the organic market look moving forward. So a lot of conversations, a lot of very, very interesting conversation that will be happening in there. So if you have a chance, make sure you pop in and check out and try to check out the program and see what are some of the things that really interest you, and be part of the conversation. So how about the speakers? Who will be there? What are some of the people that will be attending this particular conference? We have, for example, Helmi Abulaish, who is the CEO of Sechem Group, doing a very, very fantastic work back in Egypt, where they were able to transform literally a desert into a living, magnificent garden, all through using organic method. How did they do that? Always inspirational. Watch them before, can watch them again and again. How did they be able to do that? One of the very, very inspirational people to look forward to their talk, and to see how you can maybe connect with them, and for them to share their story with you and learn something from what they have done over the years. We have Dr. Amdavi, for example, who used to be my boss. Very, very appreciative of his guidance as well. Worked there in BioVision Africa Trust as an intern. They are doing an amazing work in terms of working with organic farmers as well back in Kenya and Tanzania. Also great work. Always looking forward to his talk. We have Sanda Ambamalang. Not sure if I murdered that second name as well, who is the chief executive officer of the government of Sikkim, which is the first state across the world to go 100% organic. The story is inspiring, how they will be able to do that in terms of from a policy perspective, how did they make it happen, and how is it going so far since going organic in 2017, I think. So how is it going? Very, very great to see an update on how does it feel to go organic, a whole state to go organic, to go certified organic. So very, very inspiring story as always. We have, of course, Alexis Curry from the Organic Trade Association. If you want to see and know, especially how the United States market is going, definitely a go-to person, and trying to see how the projection of the organic market is going to be. Very, very interesting person to also talk to as well. We have, of course, Eduardo Coco, who is the executive director of iFirm Organics Europe, trying to understand what are some of the things that they're doing in the organic movement across Europe. So you can see there are tons and tons of people who you should be able to look forward to and see how you can be able to strike a conversation and sort of see how you can work together moving forward. So great conversations there. And from my end, I just can't wait and see how all this goes on. If you're going to attend the conference, of course, make sure you hit me up as well, and try to see how the conference itself goes. All right. So till then, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you be organic, and see you soon.